We can track our heart rate, our sleep, even our calories with just incredible precision these days. But what about something as fundamental as the quality of our movement? For way too long, that's been a total blind spot. Well, now technology is finally catching up, and it is about to completely change how we measure, train, and maintain our physical health. So let's dive into how objective data is transforming the very way we move. I want you to think about that for a second. When one of your clients says they feel stronger, what does that actually mean, right? Is that just a feeling, or is it a fact? See, for too long, we've had to rely on these subjective feelings when what our clients, and frankly, what our practices, really need is objective, measurable proof of progress. And this slide, well, this illustrates the problem perfectly. Our general health is incredibly data-rich. We live in a world of wearables and constant feedback. But when it comes to the absolute core of what we do as movement professionals, lifting, balancing, functional strength, it has just remained this massive data blind spot. We've basically been operating with one hand tied behind our backs. So let's talk about the frustrations of that old way, because we've all been there. Relying on subjective observations and, let's be honest, some pretty dated tools, it doesn't just feel imprecise, it actively holds back our clients and our practices. It really boils down to three core issues. First, there's a lack of sensitivity. You know your client is improving. You can see it, but the change is just too subtle for your current tools to actually measure. And that makes it incredibly hard to justify continued treatment. Second, we're often measuring the wrong thing entirely, like just counting reps instead of measuring the actual power and control in each and every movement. And finally, it's just not concrete. Without hard numbers, progress is just an opinion. So the crucial point is this. In today's world, both clients and payers, they expect an elevated experience, and they expect it to be backed by clear, objective results. Failing to provide this data isn't just a clinical issue anymore, it's a business issue. We absolutely have to demonstrate value in a language everyone understands: numbers. Okay, so this is where the shift happens. We are moving from a world of estimation and guesswork to a world of precise measurement. The solution is leveraging these powerful little sensors, specifically IMUs, or inertial measurement units, to turn every single movement into a stream of actionable data. Now, a core concept driving this whole change is something called velocity-based training, or VBT. Instead of just asking how much weight is on the bar, we're now asking how fast and how well are you moving that weight. This shift totally prioritizes movement quality and intent, and that leads to a way better motor unit recruitment and much more efficient training. And here's what that looks like in practice. The old way. It was so rigid, right? You'd prescribe a percentage of a 1-rep max and just cross your fingers that the client was actually ready for it that day. The new way is dynamic. It uses movement speed to gauge an individual's readiness on any given day, which lets us adjust the load for a perfect training stimulus every single time. The benefits here are immediate. First, you get the optimal training stimulus for better, faster results. You also get something called auto-regulation, which is just a powerful way to maximize gains while dramatically reducing the risk of injury. And you get objective fatigue management. Using velocity loss, which is basically the drop-in speed from the first rep to the last, tells you exactly when a set is done and neuromuscular fatigue is kicking in. No more guesswork. But here's the thing. This isn't just for elite athletes lifting heavy weights. Not at all. This technology has profound applications across the entire spectrum of movement health, from building explosive power in young athletes to helping maintain independence in older adults. So let's start with a classic performance metric, the counter movement jump. For decades, it's been the go-to test for explosive power. But now we can see inside the movement, like we've never been able to before. Now, what's really fascinating here is that we're looking way beyond just jump height. Check out the Elastic Index 100. This metric actually quantifies how efficiently an athlete manages that transition from absorbing force to producing it. You can think of it as their body's springiness. It gives us this incredible window into their eccentric contributions and phase transition, which are absolutely crucial for both explosive power and the ability to decelerate safely. But like I said, this technology isn't just for athletes. So let's shift gears completely to the other end of the spectrum. The simple sit-to-stand test is one of the most critical predictors of an aging adult's ability to live independently. The problem is, just counting reps tells us almost nothing about their true functional capacity. With this simple sensor, we can transform this basic test into a really rich assessment. We can now measure the velocity and the relative power of the ascent, which is a key predictor of maintaining independence. And crucially, we can measure their eccentric control on the way down. This data gives us an incredibly detailed, objective picture of their fall risk and their ability to stay independent for longer. So, what does all of this mean for the future of our profession? Well, it means we are entering a brand new era. An era where our clinical expertise is finally augmented by objective, undeniable data that enhances outcomes for every single person we work with.
So, what's the big picture here? Why does this all matter? It means we now have objective proof of progress to show our clients and to show payers, building trust and justifying care. It means we can deliver safer, truly personalized training programs based on daily readiness. And ultimately, it means we're helping people achieve what they want most: a longer, more active, and more independent health span.
You see, this technology is elevating movement from something we just observe to something we measure with the exact same precision as heart rate or blood pressure. And that leaves us with a really powerful question to consider. What happens when the quality of your movement officially becomes the next vital sign?